Somewhere between childhood and now, you quietly made a decision about what kind of person you are with money, and you've been proving yourself right ever since. This subconscious decision is most likely negatively affected by what Ken Honda, in his book Happy Money, calls money wounds. In this video, I will identify 5 common money wounds that affect many people. Once a person recognizes these in themselves, only then can they move on to change their attitude towards money in a positive way. Let's start with wound number 1, and that is money shame. This one is sneaky because it doesn't always look like shame. Sometimes it looks like avoiding your bank account. Sometimes it looks like lying about how much you make. Sometimes it looks like that sick feeling in your stomach when someone asks how much something cost. Money shame is the deep-seated belief that your financial situation says something about your worth as a human being, and it gets planted early. Maybe you grew up hearing, "We can't afford that." So often it started to feel like your family was less than. Or maybe you watched a parent feel humiliated at a cash register. Those moments wire your brain to connect money with your identity, and that connection is dangerous. Wound number 2 is money fear, and this one runs the show for a lot of people. It shows up as obsessively checking your accounts or never checking them at all. It shows up as hoarding money even when you have enough, or spending it all instantly because holding it feels too vulnerable. Money fear often comes from watching instability growing up. Maybe the lights got turned off once. Maybe you heard your parents fighting about bills at night. Your nervous system learned that money is unpredictable and threatening, and now, even when things are fine, your body is still in survival mode around finances. You make decisions from a place of scarcity rather than clarity, and that costs you enormously over time. Now, wound number 3 is money blame. This is when your entire financial narrative is built around someone or something that wronged you. Maybe a parent who left and didn't pay child support, a business partner who cheated you, an employer who underpaid you for years. And look, those things might have genuinely happened and genuinely hurt you. But money blame keeps you locked in a victim story where your financial future is controlled by someone from your past. When you're in blame mode, you stop asking what you can do differently because deep down you've decided it's not your fault, which also means it's not in your power. That is a very expensive mindset to carry. Wound number 4 is money distrust. This shows up as an inability to believe that good financial things can last. So when something goes well, you immediately brace for it to fall apart. You sabotage opportunities without realizing it. You push away financial partnerships or investments because something in you doesn't believe it's real. Money distrust often comes from experiences where money was used as control or as a weapon. Maybe a parent dangled money over your head. Maybe someone made you feel financially dependent on purpose. When money becomes entangled with manipulation or betrayal, your subconscious decides that abundance comes with strings attached, and it would rather stay small than risk being pulled. And wound number 5 is the one nobody talks about, which is the inability to receive. This is when you are genuinely closed off to financial good coming toward you. You deflect opportunities. You undercharge for your work. You feel uncomfortable when people want to pay you generously. You convince yourself you haven't earned it yet or that you don't deserve it yet. And here's what's fascinating about this wound. It shows up in the smallest, most subtle moments. How do you feel when someone picks up the check? Do you immediately try to pay them back or feel uncomfortable sitting in that moment of receiving? Because how you handle small moments of receiving trains your whole system for how much abundance you allow in. Close off the small stuff, and you unconsciously close off the big stuff too. So here's what I really want you to understand. These 5 wounds, money shame, money fear, money blame, money distrust, and the inability to receive, they don't care how much money you actually have. Wealthy people carry them. People who are barely getting by carry them. And most importantly, they were almost never created by you. They were created by experiences that happened to you, often when you were too young to process them. But here's the difference between carrying a wound and healing one. Awareness. You cannot heal what you refuse to look at. So here's something practical I want you to do right now. Grab a piece of paper or open your notes app and just start writing down your honest beliefs about money. not what you think you should believe, what you actually feel in your gut. Things like, rich people are greedy, or I always end up broke, or money makes everything complicated. Write it all down without judgment. Then look at your list and ask yourself, where did this come from? What moment, what person, what experience planted this belief? Because when you can trace a wound to its origin, you take back enormous power over it. It stops being truth and starts being a story you inherited. And stories can be rewritten. The goal here isn't to become someone who never thinks about money. The goal is to get to a place where money is neutral, where it's a tool rather than a threat, a source of freedom rather than anxiety. That shift doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with this conversation right here, right now. The fact that you're watching this tells me something important about you. You're not here to stay stuck, and that means you're already closer to financial health than you were 5 minutes ago. Don't stop here. Keep going. And listen, recognizing these 5 wounds is just the beginning. Healing them, actually rewiring your relationship with money, is a journey, and it's one we're going to take together right here on this channel. In future videos, I'll be going deeper into this topic, and I'll be giving you real, practical tools to work through your relationship with money. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of it. You showed up for this conversation today, and that tells me you'll show up for the next one. I'll see you there.